to move the closed session to discuss interviews to the first item of business. That way we can go through public comment and other things before that. And then we'll have time to work through that closed session, and then we'll go back to a public session after.
I'll move to approve with moving the closed session to the first item of business.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Chris, seconded by Dina, to approve the agenda with one change to move the closed session to the first business item. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, so next we have the consent agenda, which includes the minutes, the invoices, and the financial reports. Where's the board member?
Chris was
I was there. Nothing shocking. Everything that you would expect. So
A couple of them I'd want to bring up though is you'll probably notice a lot of them from Iowa Central Community College. That's just our help me out, Joe. That's like our tuition for the college credits for all the students.
for post-secondary.
So they in the past years they've lumped it together. This year they decided to send me a packet of crazy. So you'll notice all the invoices on there. That's what those are. So other than that, I think that's probably the great big one.
And then some at the end were the
Yeah,
Pebble,
and then we went
ones
through
for
all the
abatement
couple
and
ones
that.
too. So yep.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion by Chris, seconded by Jeff, to approve the consent agenda. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, so next we have what's going well, middle school, high school activities update.
Yes. A couple things, real brief. First, Triton Jazz Concert tomorrow at Iowa Central. John Phillips is actually taking 24 students, so it's exciting. My students traveling to Fort Dodge for that. Secondly, middle school wrestling is underway. They started practice yesterday. 23, that's boys and girls, 7th and 8th graders have signed up. So that's once again, good to see. Hopefully continue those numbers. And then lastly, hopefully finalizing our head baseball interviews and getting those finalized and set in stone in the very near future. So hopefully have that wrapped up soon.
A couple months ago, you gave us an activities engagement measurement, and we knew it would develop throughout the year. Is that something that we can update for the next board meeting?
Yeah, for sure.
Any other questions on the activities update? Anything else from middle school, high school?
Yes, I have MJ's like to talk to you about student council.
Well, hello guys. New setting, same person. So we are doing chocolate fundraising at the moment, where we have like over 120 boxes, and it's high school and middle school selling since it's a joint account, and we can use this money to help with winter formal, which we are excited for. Very, very excited. We've been talking to Miss Christians about some ideas for in the future. This one, hopefully. And we really hope we can do it. It's all up to her. No pressure. But it is some real good ideas, which I will fill you guys in on when we get more information. But it's just like a winter homecoming kind of ish. That's what we're wanting to do. And yeah.
Thank you. And you can get this chocolate anywhere? Are you guys selling it at home games or?
We'll be at home games. We'll be at a bunch of places. Come by Favorite Table. I'm selling on the weekends. Don't tell Al.
Yeah, my daughter's already asked me to buy a box, so. we'll probably
$1 a
do
piece?
that. I know. Pound a piece. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, what's going well with elementary? We have K through 6 art implementation and Palo Alto County Gaming Commission grant. Tracy?
Yeah, we have implemented art P6, so every child in the elementary building gets art Monday a week. That started on the first day back from winter break, and that's been going really well. The students come from here and they have it back there every semester. And the assistant teachers are really proud of that. It's really excited. And then the other thing we had is, remember Mr. Kimmer wrote the grant for the Palo Alto County Gaming Commission, And we received 2 clever touches. Those, we have received them and they are installed in our 4th grade classrooms and teachers are using them. So we appreciate them and everything with us.
Fantastic. Yes, and Andrea has one thing to add.
We have one more thing, Mrs. Mask would like to talk to you about a program that she's interested in getting going.
Fantastic.
Kind of quick FCCLA update and then program that we're going to do. So we've got 20 kids right now and kind of growing a little bit too with our FCCLA program that just started this year. FCCLA is tied in with FCS, kind of like FFA and ag classes go together. So it just stands for Family Career Community Leaders of America. We did the sock fundraiser with FBLA and ended up earning 27 pairs that we're going to donate to UDMO, to the elementary, and we're going to take some to Arlington Place as well. The other thing that we're working on, we're going to do a strawberry fundraiser, trying to gear up so kids like MJ can hopefully maybe go to state convention or state conference this year. But what we're really excited about is starting a mentoring program. A high school hero is kind of what we're calling it. It's something I kind of got in touch with Carrie McAlexander, who started it at SEC maybe 4 years ago, I want to say. And it's a really good experience for high school kids to be able to go and work with any of our elementary and preschool students. And so kind of starting small with FCCLA kids and students who were in child development. They got to go to the elementary already, like last semester at the end, to interact, observe, and work with kids. So I will have some of those kids signed up. Right now I've got 8, and it's just growing, hopefully is what the plan will be, where they can go once a week during their study hall, and they will be able to, whether it's a small group or work one-on-one, things like that with some of our students and have some positive interactions and be a good role model for those elementary kiddos. So hopefully we start small this year and can grow it next year.
Fantastic.
Great. Thanks, you.
All right. Karen, did we have anybody sign up for public communication?
Well, hold on. I think we do have some.
Oh, we do? We do
Yep,
have
yep.
someone that just hadn't signed up. Okay, didn't know. I
Yep, sorry.
Okay. We'll give you the opportunity to speak.
My name is Hannah Company. I'm new to the district this year. The fact that we're meeting on a positive basis is fantastic. I will, after things get finalized and settled, I will be able to openly communicate what happened at the prior district. So that'll be great. But this is my daughter Adeline. She's
Bashful.
but she is in the 4th grade class. Ms. Johnson has been absolutely fantastic this year. Working with her on like the reading they're doing in small groups is tremendous, as well as introducing cursive writing, which isn't a core, but it helps with her handwriting skills. So because we have 30-year-olds that can't write, so that's fantastic. And then I just want to give her positive feedback as far as this so far with this district. I've been through your legal battle, so this has been able to breathe kind of situation. Any of the small issues we had, Ms. Carlson has tremendously handled, which I greatly applaud her because I have not had great experiences. So that's what I have for that. My other thing is, and I'm used to a 3-minute time frame, so when I'm speaking too fast, I'm sorry.
You're okay. And we typically give 5. So you have a little room.
So I know the superintendent applications or the names were posted online. And so before we had our confidential meeting, so this wouldn't be confidential, this is just from me doing research, which is just Googling and finding out where they worked and what those schools had going on and just following the trails and then looking up licensing and that kind of thing. And it's just something I've gotten used to. Obviously, we all agreed on Steve Barber, so I think that's just kind of a trash can situation. He's like taking a dirty hitting him there. I mean, as far as if you look up there,
Can't say.
can't say anything. Well, no, it's not about me. This is what I found online. So he had previous experience at Spencer School, which is all online. Yeah. So it's okay. No, I understand the confidentiality part of it. That's why this is what I came up with. These are my papers off my Google Drive from me doing my research. Because it was posted on the public website, the names. He did, some terms he did a longest term was at Spencer Community School District from 2004 to 2000 and something. Anyways, he was there for 9 years. That was, but he, in my experience with Spencer, is their school attorney. Their school attorney is Steve Avery, and he is in my professional mob words, is a major hot dog as far as parental rights goes and legal situations will arise as far as civil rights and education. The other one presented to the board was Robert Woolley. Researched him. Wasn't hard to find, even without social media. It's easy to find people. The South Carolina School District currently has 3 open OCR complaints. Me, from personal experience, it takes 6 months to even get an open investigation for an open OCR through the federal Civil Rights Office, just to get the federal one. Their timelines on their websites are nowhere near where it takes. So that would have occurred. They opened in January of 22. That's all disability and Title X and the 504 stuff. All that stuff is interacting with civil rights. So they have 3 open OCR cases. They were opened in January and they are still ongoing. And then, when he got hired on to South Tama on the newspaper clipping that I found, and he went from Woodward. Woodward's 11 years. They also have an open OCR complaint, and Bettendorf as well, because news outlets are great in the urban areas, guys. Unlike up here, and Bettendorf. So Woodward and Bettendorf both have public, the sunshine laws, which if you're a parent, usually they're always dismissed. But one in particular at Bettendorf resulted in a lawsuit because they didn't allow a news crew in to the district after the parents' rights were dismissed, and then Governor Reynolds got involved and it was overturned, and they had to pay. Again, I'm here as a positive manner because I haven't had that in the past. So if I ruffle some feathers, I'm sorry. I hope we never have to meet in a non-positive manner because I'm that parent will be pain in your butt. I am the pain in the butt parent. Anthony Ryan, he's been in the same place for 9 years. They have a great active social media page and all that good stuff. There was nothing on his as far as background and that school district as far as they have progressed so far, and their postings, they keep progressing forward. There hasn't been a fallback as far as financials and stuff, though, even with their yearly audits. That's also something not much. Thomas Ryard, out of Cherokee. So this is a big iffy for me, just from doing my research. 2 open DOE investigations. One opened June of last year, and one opened November of last year. Those were all on his license. The first one is performing services beyond the authorized scope of practice, for which the individual is licensed or prepared or performing services without holding a valid license. The one opened November. Failure of an administrator to meet mandatory reporter obligations. And the band director, well, the news, just gotta Google it, was charged with sexual misconduct of a minor in 2020. That's what I have as a public school parent, guys. The things I found they don't ruffle me very good because if a parent takes the time to do those complaints that takes so long. A BOE investigation takes 6 months, 108 days with extensions. Not just the 2 weeks like stated on the website. It can take up to another 6 to 12 months to even open the investigation. And then it's scheduled for a hearing. And then you're waiting another 6 to 12 months. And even if it's criminal. So, that's the fact of how the process. And usually school lawyers are here's some money. Can you make this go away? And that's why most of them we can't find. That's what happens. And usually the attorney general, once it reaches the attorney general's office, usually they don't drop the charges. But if the parent is contacted any time between then and before it gets to the attorney general's office, it's gone. They dismiss it. OCR, same way. They're so far backed up, the none of the families are the same. So nobody is ever held accountable. And most parents don't know that you don't have to sign a non-disparagement clause either. If you go to settlement, make it public. And that's the kind of things that I advocate for. I have a kid with medical condition. She has ectodermal dysplasia, which with acute anhidrosis, so she can't swim. It's rare, but it's not uncommon. There's about 4 families in Iowa. Most of them are in, there's Waukee, Ankeny, and Cedar Rapids. So there's all kinds of things with that. If you ever have any questions, just let me know and I can send you the link. There's all kinds of different deformities you can also come with. It's all different genetic variants. So that's why I became involved in all this, just because fighting disability rights and that kind of thing. I want to be a proactive member with this school board, and not like I was with the ladder. So if you have any questions, if you guys need volunteers for anything, I'm all for it. Because like when Ms. Johnson when Adeline asked if we could do something with Christmas party this year, I was like, I can ask, but I'm not going to guarantee anything because we're allowed to go to school. And it was great. The kids enjoyed it. It was silly. It was, they're just decorated Santa hats in 4th grade. So half the kids, Santa, we do Santa. But yeah, I mean, it was great. The kids enjoyed it. So just doing anything. I mean, I'm here as long as you guys let me. So if we're doing like projects where the community members are needed and stuff like that, I'm all for it. Because that shows my kid, like she likes to come. But if this shows her that with her kids, she can do the same thing. Like this is a public school, and the biggest thing at the other school was they treated it like a private school. Everything is open for information. So just take that into account, I guess, since I don't know you guys. But I mean, like I said, I never want to be that parent, but I will if I have to. So if you have any questions, just let me know. But that's my input on the superintendent research and just a little introduction.
Welcome you and your daughter to the district. Okay. All right. So next item on the agenda would be moving into our closed session. So this is going to be a roll call vote to move into closed session. And then we're going to have to ask the public members in audience to step out. This is physically where the closed session is going to take place.
I'll move to go into closed session.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Chris, seconded by Jeff, to move into closed session to discuss interviews for the position of PAC superintendent. So roll call vote?
Tony,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Nina,
Yes.
Therese,
Yes.
Dustin.
Yes.
Sarah's on, but she can't vote. I can't get her to mute up, so but we'll get her. So we've got a majority. So
All right. Motion carries. We move into closed session.
And we'll have the back area open up. There's tables and chairs back there. So
Hey, don't forget about us.
no.
muted.
Yes,
Yep.
Unmuted.
Now you're
Thank you.
The one
We
who
should be
goes
live again right now.
I don't, well, no, Tracy will probably get it.
No, that's the naughty table for you.
Yes.
Dustin made a mistake in closed session, so we put him back here.
Good job, Dustin. You're so strong.
Um, we are currently 2 hours behind schedule. Just in case you're wondering.
Just in case you wonder.
You're always
You are too. You make comments with him.
Because there's
How
so
long
many
it takes.
long-winded people.
We didn't do reset the time. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep, you're good.
No, you can come back in.
It's fun. Come on in.
Everybody but you, Angie.
She didn't hear you.
Did you hear me, Angie?
This is.
I said everybody can come in but you.
Stream it on YouTube. The public sessions are there.
Well, that's right. I did see that. He did, but he must have. He's like, oh my gosh, I'm really sorry. I didn't check my email. Thank you.
Did you unmute
I
her?
sent it.
I unmuted you. Perfect. Didn't want to.
I
get it.
A couple days later, I sent it back.
Okay, we're back in regular session.
We are back in regular session. So we're going to resume the meeting now. We have a motion coming out of the closed session.
I will move to offer a contract to the individual we discussed during closed session at the compensation package we discussed.
We have a second.
A second.
Jeff.
We have a motion by Chris, seconded by Jeff, to offer our preferred candidate the package discussed in closed session. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carried unanimously. Okay. Next, we have discussed the approved Pomeroy facility progress and demolition specs. You have an update on that?
I
Joe?
do. They've got the rough draft of the specifications nearly done. I have a meeting with them on Friday at 2 where they'll be sharing that draft, I guess, with a few questions so that they can try to get it finalized. So hopefully we're close.
We talked about potentially a special meeting.
Yep.
If you have it by this Friday, would we be in position maybe for a 7 a.m. meeting on Wednesday to get that so you can get it out?
If they've got it done, yeah.
All right, anything else on the Pomeroy facility progress?
Nope. That's it.
All right, next we have the fundraising request. Tonight we have 4. Fundraising request: A, girls basketball tournament; B, Trendsetters baked potato night; C, wrestling tournament; and D, FCCLA strawberry fundraiser. Do we have anybody who's speaking to the individual fundraising requests, or are you going to speak to them, Joe?
Well, they're in your packets. So if you start on, they're not numbered. Halfway through.
The red Indians.
Yeah.
This one, yeah.
Starts with the Indian logo images. Yeah. So let's just start. That first one in your packet is the baked potato fundraiser request, which will be held on January 24th during the basketball game. Fundraiser consists of a baked potato bar meal that will serve to the community in the PAC cafeteria. fundraiser is their way of guaranteeing you'll have enough money to register for state competition and pay any fees for choreography. They'll also use those funds to replace some equipment and uniform of ours that need updated.
And all they have is an activity account, so
The funds
it
would go
will
to
go to their activity account.
Next one, we have the,
Strawberries.
this is the FCCLA Strawberry Fundraiser. Fundraiser at the end of January into February selling strawberries. That fund, those funds will be used for
Third and fourth grade girls youth tournament on January 25th. Is that one?
No, we're talking about the strawberry.
Yeah.
Oh.
January 7th email from Mrs. Mask.
I thought
It's
she
the one she talked about tonight.
FCCLA
Yeah.
group.
Yeah. So I think she mentioned here that it would go toward possibly being able to go to the
National convention.
National convention. And is there a specific account that their money needs to go to?
All they have
There's an
activity.
fund for those. Okay.
I'll move to approve all four.
All right, we have to list what each are for and what they're spending money for. We can do that, Chris. So I know basketball tournament next. So the funds for the basketball tournament, this would go into the girls booster account.
Yep.
It would be a tournament held on January 25th. And those funds would be for expenses associated with summer fees, food expenses, and when needed, hotel expenses. So the fourth one, which is the wrestling tournament.
Well, somewhere that one got
I didn't see that one.
dropped out, I think.
Yeah, if you could just tell us what the fundraiser is, what they're going to be using the money for, and what account we need to put the money in.
I have it here if you.
Oh, go ahead, Lincoln.
Okay, Coach Johnson, located a youth wrestling tournament. Funds going into the booster club account and the activity account to help cover end of season or in season, and out of season expenses, summer camp, end of season banquet, hotel rooms, Ida Grove, and various other expenses.
All right.
Move
Now
to
we have-
approve all four.
Second.
We have a motion by Chris, seconded by Cherie to approve all four fundraising requests. Do we have any questions or anyone who would like to represent the opposition side to that motion? All right, we'll move to the vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Okay, next we have discuss approve board policy updates. This starts in your packet, which the pages aren't numbered, but it begins right after that section. Joe went through and highlighted for us what the changes were. Joe, you want to highlight those as we go through them briefly?
Well, I'll just read the same thing that's in your packets, basically, on the notes side, but all of these are ISB policies. There's very little changes from what you currently have. But they clean up policy language and enhance the legal compliance for districts. In the fall, the Iowa Department of Education clarified that exemptions listed within the definition of truancy also apply to chronic absenteeism. The department also clarified that the exemptions listed within the definition of truancy also apply to chronic absenteeism. The clarification is now reflected in this policy, or these policies. The additional language updates better align with legislation on limitations to employment references and the district participation in the school food program.
I move to approve the policies.
And you're going to waive the
second reading.
first reading and put them on second, right? Put them on
Yep,
final
I'll move
reading.
the first reading. Yep, I'll move to approve and waive the second reading.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Sarah, seconded by Chris, to approve the policy updates, move these to second reading and final approval. Do we have any questions or anyone who wishes to speak to the opposition of the motion? All right, we'll move to the vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Okay, next we have discuss approve the purchase of 5 Clever Touch units for the elementary. And this is what was discussed at the last meeting, and we asked them to bring back the other ones. Tracy, anything that you would want to?
This will be the stuff. I'll snap that in.
So all staff of the elementary who wanted the Clever Touches, this completes that package. Do we have a motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Sarah, seconded by Dustin to approve the purchase of 5 Clever Touch units for the elementary school. Anybody have any questions or would wish to speak to the opposition to that motion? All right, we'll move to the vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Okay, next we have discuss approve the purchase of up to 3 used buses at $25,000 each. Mr. Halder, would you like to tell us about that one?
Yep, it's from the dealership that we bought our last 3 from. They are no longer a dealer, and these all come back in off of lease, and they're trying to help to get out of the business, the school business. They called me before Christmas, or during Christmas break, and offered this price.
And because we got the previous ones, we're getting first crack at these. Is that accurate?
There's another school district that's got 2 reserved. They're waiting for their school board meeting. They've got 5 left.
Okay.
Then would we get rid of buses or?
Yep, we'll get rid of some of our older ones. These are all 2017 and newer. I think the highest mileage one is 50,000. Other than that, the other 4 are all at 38,000 and under.
And you'll get your choice of 3 of the 5 if you act first?
Yep.
Are they propane?
Are they propane or diesel?
All propane, Sarah. How much below market value are you getting these offered to you at?
Well, the last ones we bought, he had them listed on his paper for 45,000 apiece.
And that was substantially below what market value comparison was.
I would assume so, yes. I mean, a brand new one, if you're to go order a brand new one right now, is about 135 to 140.
Yeah.
And what did this come out of?
Apple.
Yep, it'll come out a couple, Sarah.
Thank you.
And this is otherwise something that you would have within 5 years, wanted to act on this anyway, but you're accelerating this because of the opportunity.
Right. I mean, we're probably, if we don't do anything now, a year from now, we'll be looking at purchasing a new one. And you aren't probably going to find a used one with this low miles for this value a year from now.
Basically, buy 2, get 1 free.
Yeah.
You can buy all 5 and still not have the price of a new one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, do we have a motion?
I move. We purchased 3. I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Cherie, seconded by Dina to approve the purchase of 3 buses, 3 used buses.
And this
Up
will
to
be
3 used buses at 25,000 each.
per our inspection. We'll have to go back down and look at them again.
Yeah.
And so forth. I wanted approval before I went down.
Fantastic. So,
Yep, thank you.
do we have any questions, discussion, or anybody who wishes to speak to the opposition on that motion? That's a heck of a deal. All right, we'll move to vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. All right. Discuss MSA at-risk dropout application.
Okay, I have a separate pack for that.
Okay.
So that's, we'll go ahead and kind of pass those down around. Everybody got enough?
I've got one. Okay, thanks.
Are we good?
Yeah.
You got one?
Yes.
Okay, basically what this is the modified supplemental amount for at-risk dropout. It kind of goes to, and it's like 2 things here. One is to approve the motion for the amount that's located in your packet, I believe on the very, very last page. There's a printout that says it's $198,000 with a school match of $68,000. If I'm not mistaken. 198,000 is what, and that's based off of the district cost per pupil and the number of people enrolled. If I'm not mistaken, Joe, please let me know if I'm speaking out of turn here.
What bucket does this come out of?
It doesn't come out of anything. This is actually money we get. This is correct, Joe?
It is, but your match is going to be a general fund match.
Yes, it's a general fund match.
And this is a yearly.
Yep, it's every year. And it hasn't changed any, so it actually is.
Where do the funds come into?
They'll come into the general fund, but they'll be specific to at risk, and that's
It's a categorical.
categorical. There you go, Joe. Yep.
Yeah, is this something we paid for last year?
We're not.
We did the same thing last year
Yep, and
to
what it
apply
is-
for funds.
What you can't see it, Sarah, and I apologize. I didn't get you a packet. One of the pages there is the last 2 pages of the packet I gave to you has like our expenditures. So basically, this money that we're allowed from the state helps to pay for salaries for people that work in the touch base and the student services for at-risk and dropout students. So your touch base is are those teachers that work with at-risk students with study skills, managing time, organization. They're not provided by a counselor, but at the at-risk coordinator. So it's basically all that salary, and that is the touch base. Student services is your counselor side, and it's based off of a percentage of their time that they use.
It's
How many
additional
employees
student.
do we?
Go ahead, Sarah.
How many employees? I'm sorry. How many employees do we utilize that limit?
It's the counselor and 3. Help me out. Is it 3 teachers? I mean, I based it off of 3 teachers.
The question I had about is this reimbursement for the number of kids that we put through that program in?
No, it's a formula base. So if you remember maybe a year ago, me talking about the fact that within the at-risk funding, it allows for it to be up to 5% of the per pupil cost. Pocahontas area is one of the districts, however, that doesn't get the full 5%. We get 3.8%, and it's based on a calculation when the formula was put together, basically, moving forward. So this is one of the areas at your IASB convention that was talked about as far as an equity issue across the state, because different school districts get a different rate for their at-risk programming. And we are one of those that does not get the full 5%. So we're obviously advocating that they bring everybody up to the 5%, but that has not happened yet. I just want you to be aware that when you hear that discussion, we're one of those that is not being able to tap into the full amount.
Disadvantage from the beginning of that program.
So vote for.
Yeah. Okay, do we have?
So basically, we'll need 2 motions. The first one is to approve the actual amount, and then there's the next one after that is to approve the program plan. Correct, Joe?
Correct.
Yep.
So the actual amount being the 198,724 with district match of 66.
Yes.
241.
Yes.
And the second is to approve the at-risk dropout
Program plan. Yep.
Okay. All right. So we have somebody who wants to make a first motion on the value amounts.
Motion to approve the modified supplement amount of $198,724 with the district match of $66,241.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right. So we have a motion by Cherie, seconded by Jeff, to approve the modified supplemental amount of $198,724 with the district match of $66,241. Does anyone have any questions or wish to speak in opposition to the motion? Okay, we'll move to vote. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. All right, the second portion of that is we need a motion to approve the at-risk dropout program plan.
And the plan is the same as you notice, I think it's 2023 was the last time the plan was actually modified, other than this year's budget numbers showing those individuals.
Do we have a motion?
I'll motion to approve the at-risk dropout program plan.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Dina, seconded by Cherie, to approve the at-risk dropout program plan. Does anyone have any questions or wish to speak in opposition to that motion?
Why is it on there twice?
That's a great question. That does happen to be
What is it?
the
MSA
dropout
at-risk
application and
application.
dropout program plan, item 7 and 8. Is that
Well, those are the two parts. So your application was
Was for
approving
the dollars.
the dollar
dollar
amounts.
Yes.
okay?
The plan is meeting all the other statutory
Gotcha.
requirements and the budget.
Just seemed odd the way it was.
Yep.
No, good, perfect question.
It had to be two separate motions.
Good. All right. And based on that question, any others? Okay, we'll move to the vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Okay, next is item 9, that's contracts. And we have for personnel, I hope I pronounced that correctly, but Emily Kolash and elementary special ed teacher.
I will move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Sarah, seconded by Chris, to approve Emily Kolash, elementary special ed teacher. We have, thank you, 25-26 school year. All right. Any questions about that motion? All right, we're going to move to vote. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Motion carries unanimously. Okay, superintendent update, Jill?
Just a reminder from last month, we talked about the Day on the Hill. So if anyone is available and wants additional information, that should have been in one of the Friday memos, or I can push it out to you again if you're able to go down. Obviously, we just talked about one of those things that we would like legislators to do something with this year.
2 weeks from yesterday.
Yep. That's it.
All right. Next, we have discussed committee work updates. There's been any committee meeting since the last board meeting. We do have a couple coming up. I guess that's kind of combining with our next item, which is the board calendar and board training. So coming up on our board calendar, we have the committee meeting for those working with staff on some early retirement planning. We do have to get that buttoned up, or at least if we start it, we would have to stop it as soon as we begin negotiation. And so that'd be the next committee work, would be the negotiations committee. That'll be coming up probably in February. Nothing going on with facilities committee currently, is there? There hasn't been any activities on the public relations committee yet. Anything else on the upcoming board calendar, Joe? Okay. All right. So next, we're going to come to board takeaways. Anybody want to go first tonight?
I think it's great to see the K-6 art, because we haven't had that for a while, correct? I'm sorry. Yeah, so I think that's a wonderful way for kids to express their creative thoughts or their talents too. So it's awesome to see that back.
Three.
You have to come back to me.
Do that. Dina?
Mine's probably us today as a whole. It's been a really long day, but it's been a productive, good day too as well. So
Fantastic.
I'll say the same thing. This day was a long time coming, and it went very well. I like the way process that we did things, and I want to give credit to Mr. Holder bringing the buses here. That's a great deal. Appreciate that very much.
Chris?
My takeaway is I'm glad that I get to stay adjourned here.
Okay, understand. It has been a long day. Sarah?
I was glad to see some of the changes in the truancy policy that we had spoke about earlier in the year, and that we wanted to see chronic illnesses, disabilities, religious exceptions, those all kind of came back. So I'm glad that the state has kind of swung back a little bit the other way.
Sheree?
Well, I love the interview process and what Russ and Dave did with us with Grunmeyer, and yeah, I think it was very well done. Very well done.
I'm going to summarize with the same thing, and I want to thank several groups, the admin and staff that was involved, the community members who were involved, the students who came in and were involved and participated at a very high level. Compliments to that group. To Grunmeyer for their services in this process, to Joe for your participation and guidance and involvement in this process as well. And I already noted the administrators, but special thanks to Karen and Lincoln and Andrea and Tracy for your depth of involvement, for providing your insights, and for being willing to step forward and do so when asked. We appreciate that very much. It was a great day. We had some very good candidates. We look forward to telling the public how that went as soon as we hear back on the offer that is being made right now. Chris, with that,
I'll move to adjourn.
I'll second.
Wait, next meeting, 6:30. We've missed a couple education, so we need to get back on track.
All right.
So that board, I'll see you all at 6:30.
6:30 on February 17th will be our next regularly scheduled board meeting. There are a couple things we've already offered for special meetings in between if we should need. That we have a motion, a second.
I'll second.
I thought you did. I wasn't sure.
Yes.
Okay, so I have a motion by Chris, seconded by Jeff to adjourn the meeting. Anybody want to speak against that motion? All right, we'll vote. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
You know, I was joking. I couldn't read yours.
I take nothing seriously.
If anybody needs anything shredded, I got a shredding party.